What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So now, this is part three of the Mayweather versus Manny breakdown comparisons. Now, pick up where I left off on part two, where I'm talking about Mike Tyson before he became the cash cow. Okay, how nobody wanted to fight him. Once he became that guy, and you're going to make the most money fighting Mike Tyson as a heavyweight, then yeah, everybody wanted to fight Mike. Not so much even fight Mike, they wanted that payday. You have guys that they want to fight, then you got guys that want to get paid. They all want to get paid, but I mean to be up to the challenge. Now, again, we're talking about this basically came off of me watching I was watching Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather fight. And basically because I knew I was going to do a video on it, I made a mention of Mayweather, in a situation, another video. And and the thing is, when people post, I'm like I said, we can talk about whatever, man. I don't worry about. It's like nothing is personal with me. None of this is personal. I don't get my feelings about these things. I do this for fun. But when people are talking and they're saying things, one of the things that people need to stop doing is giving your opinion as if it's a fact. If I tell you that Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather fought, it's a fact that they fought. It's not my opinion. Okay, the majority of opinions was that Floyd Mayweather won, which is why basically he won the fight. For people that want to turn it around, like I said, okay, somebody landed 148 punches to 81. How the fuck did that person that landed 81 punches win? How? I mean, he beat him in punches landed and beat him in rounds. So how did he lose? Just because you're the aggressor through the majority of the fight, you're the one coming forward. That doesn't mean that you're winning the fight. You got to land punches to win. And even the things that people they overlook. Look, let's give you something else. Okay, this is a fact. This is not my fucking opinion. Sugar Ray Leonard said. Okay, came out of Sugar Ray Leonard's mouth. He had a party at his house. Marvin Hagler was there, and he's asking him, he's pouring drinks, and he's like, so Marv, who you fight next? And Marv is telling him, I don't know, man, it's getting hard. I can't get the fights that I want. I don't know. And so at this point, Sugar Ray said he's watching Marv fight, and he's telling his brother or somebody, man, I can beat this guy. I'm telling you, I can beat him. Why? Because he said Marv is slowing down. Marv is not the same. I feel I can beat him now. Well, does that mean that when you guys were younger, and Marv was calling you out, and remember he said everybody want to see a fight with me and this great man Marvin Hagler, but unfortunately it's not going to happen, and he renounced his retirement. Does that mean he was afraid? Was he scared of Marv? I mean, there's an argument there because he clearly said, I think I can beat this guy now, right? And that's one of the reasons why Marv got mad, because Ray Leonard went to announce that he's coming out of retirement for Marvin Hagler. So the first time Marv had heard it, it's not like at the party they talked and he said, Marv, what you think if I come out of retirement, man, and we could make a big event? That's not what he did. He's playing Marv. Okay? And he said that, Marv was pissed at him for that. And here's the reality, though. There was no rematch. Was it because he was scared? Did Marv want a rematch? I mean, there's things. I remember when they asked Sugar Ray Leonard after he beat Donnie Lalonde about fighting Pernell Whitaker or Chavez. And I remember Ray Leonard said, Pernell's a good fighter, he's a good fighter, this, that, whatever, good technician, whatever. They asked him about Chavez. He said, it's a joke. He's too small. Okay? Did he duck Chavez and Pernell Whitaker? I mean, you got to be realistic, man. See, because we always say everybody fought everybody back in the day. That's bullshit. Pernell Whitaker went up to 154. He fought Julio Cesar Vasquez, who had a title at 154. Terry Norris was the man at junior middleweight at that time. And he won. And at the end of the fight, asked him, so are you going to fight Terry Norris? Look at Pernell Whitaker's face. I've mentioned this before. And he goes, no. Like, are you crazy? Like, no. He said, look, I didn't come up to 154 to fight at 154. Like, this is not my new weight class. I just want another accomplishment. So he just went up and got a belt. Now, why did he fight Vasquez instead of Terry Norris? I mean, Norris was available. Was it because he ducked him? So if we're going to play the duck game, then it has to go for everybody. But my thing is, it's always thrown at Floyd. It's always Floyd, duck, duck, duck. You know, there was fights, many fights. And that's why I tell you guys, do your homework. Stop listening to certain channels because they agree with what you're saying. You know, they're more of what you, and then you feel like you got some moral victory because people agree with you. You feel like you're proving something by giving your opinion when in fact you don't know the facts. But if you look and go back and think of all the fights that could have happened that never happened, it'll make you think, well, damn, you know what? Why didn't these guys fight? How come this fight didn't happen? I mean, why did Sugar Ray and Carl the Truth never fight? You know, people, when Aaron Pryor wanted to fight Sugar Ray, that fight never happened. Now we know Aaron Pryor beat, Thomas Hearns in the amateurs, but why they never fought at 147 as pros? Why they never fought as pros? Did Hearns duck him because he beat him already once? Was Aaron Pryor ducking him? Did Sugar Ray duck Aaron Pryor? I mean, you guys got to understand, fights don't happen just because you want it to happen the second you want it to happen. It's a business, and you cannot be a successful fighter when you just think you're going to jump in the ring and just fight everybody that a fan name screams out. You have your own direction that you want to go. You have your own career. The money has to be right. You are I will listen, I will say this to anyone. You are a stupid individual if you're willing to jump in there, put your health on the line, put your health at risk. Everybody else around you eat like a king and you're getting crumbs. But you're the one in it. Nobody's there to see fucking Don King. Nobody's there to see Bob Arum. Nobody's there to see fucking Eddie Hearn. They're there to see the fighters. And you don't think you should get the lion's share of the money? So when you keep saying, oh, the fighters of old, these guys fought, yeah, look at those crumbs they were giving them at that time. At that time, when these guys were finally starting to make some millions. Look at what they were getting. Look at what they were getting. I mean, even for a guy like Larry Holmes, who hadn't fought in 3 years, Don King goes to his house and tell him, yo, come on, man, I need you to come out of retirement. We got Tyson. They gave him $3 million to fight Tyson. He came out and didn't even get the full training camp that he needed to fight Mike. We know how that fight went. But at the same time, I mean, Muhammad Ali, the most he made in his career was $10 million in one fight. Look how many years it took him to finally get to that. And look at how he ended up broke. Look at all of these guys who come in here and like I said before in previous videos, they make all these highlight films and tell you how great these fighters were, but yet these guys ended their careers broke. So for someone to take control of their own career, you only have that power when you're that damn good. People have to believe in you. Would you invest your money in someone that you don't think is worth it? You think Showtime invested that kind of money in Floyd Mayweather because he's a shit fighter? Because he doesn't know. So where the fuck is Winky Wright? Why are we not talking about Winky Wright right now? We know Paul Williams, we know what happened with him, and that. But why are we not talking about Vernon Forrest right now? We know what happened with him. Why are we not talking about Costa Zoo? Why are we not talking about any of these guys? Why are we only talking about them when Floyd Mayweather's name comes up? Nobody's talking about these guys. Nobody's talking about no fucking Margarito. Who the fuck did Margarito beat that you even care about? Who did? I mean, who's another one that was named? Costa Zoo. Okay, he knocks out Zab Judah, caught him, knocked him out, whatever. He didn't really knock him out. He was. I think if Zab would have got up, if the ref didn't stop it, Zab probably would have got knocked out. But regardless, he lost. But what are we talking about with Costa Zoo? I remember all the hype that was surrounding Ricky Hatton until after he lost to Floyd. And then, like I said before, who goes and fight him afterwards? Look, Manny Pacquiao was known for fighting guys after Floyd beat them. And the one guy that gave Manny Pacquiao the most trouble was Marquez. And Floyd beat him with no problem. And then they said, oh, you know, Marquez's best years, his best weight was 130. Okay. So now his best years was a lightweight. But when he fights Manny, this doesn't come up. And they both, all three of them, Floyd, Manny, and Marquez, were all at lighter weights. Floyd improves as a fighter. The thing with Floyd was his hands. It wasn't about losing skill. His hands started breaking down. Okay, and he made that known. He didn't hide it. He made it known. He said several times, my body is starting to break down, and so he started to fight different. He was way more offensive minded as Pretty Boy Floyd. But hey, things happen, and instead of you guys giving him credit for being able to stay undefeated and being able to go in there and fight and just outbox and make guys look like they don't belong in the ring with him. No, oh, he runs all night. What's running? I dare any one of you to watch a Ali fight, any fight, a Ray Leonard, a Ray Robinson, a Larry Donald, anybody who moved a lot, who danced in the ring and moved. And I dare you to say, make a comparison and show me that Floyd moves nearly as much as those guys. Floyd used a lot of lateral movement. Floyd is more similar to a Pernell with the movement and the lateral. Floyd wasn't a dancer. Floyd, so all this running and shit that you guys are talking about, even when he tied a guy up, isn't that part of what you learn in boxing? Yeah, they teach you how to tie a guy up, when to tie a guy up. You break his momentum. But all of this, all of a sudden now, I think a lot of you guys, it's not boxing you need to watch. You need to watch bare knuckle brawling or, excuse me, something where boxing is not really the science of it. Because the one thing you guys need to understand, everybody has a different style. Everybody has different strengths and weaknesses. Okay. It wouldn't serve Ali to try to fight like Mike Tyson because he doesn't have Mike Tyson's power. And it wouldn't serve Mike Tyson to try to fight like Ali because he doesn't have Ali's movement. They both have fast hands, but he doesn't have that movement, that height. He doesn't have that skill set. Ali, they're two different type of fighters, two different skill sets. So no, would it serve Ali to stand there and try to brawl with Mike Tyson? No. And would it serve Mike Tyson to stand there and try to outbox Ali? No. You fight to your strengths. And one of the things with Floyd is Floyd was able to solve every puzzle that was put in front of him. I mean, when you say that he let guys get old first, you guys got to understand something, man. A lot of these guys, first off, which is bullshit. Like when you guys talk about Shane, he called Shane. See, all the things that people say is right here on YouTube, and all you got to do is look it up. And you know what you do? You look and go, damn, he's right. Damn. But it's because of the narrative that people gave when all of a sudden everybody turned on Floyd. And then Floyd is, oh, Floyd this, Floyd that. Like I said, him and Pacquiao fought a lot of the same people. And every one of those names that people brought up, with the exception of Margarito, Pacquiao didn't fight Vernon Forrest. He didn't fight Whitney, right? You know what I'm saying? He didn't fight Paul Williams. He didn't fight Sergio Martinez. But all of these other guys, that they both fought the same guys. And the only thing that you guys, they always try to point out to say that Pacquiao did a better job against them or a more faster job. Well, he never fucked Marquez up the way Floyd did. And the fact of the matter is, regardless to what you think, who you think had the better performance, well, when they fought each other, look at what happened. And then a bullshit shoulder, a rotator cuff, torn rotator cuff occurs, and then the man is healed by some sea salt. You guys know if Floyd made those excuses up, you guys would crucify him. If he fought Joshua Cloudy and Brandon Rios, you would crucify him. If Floyd Mayweather fought 10 rematch, if he fought the same guy 10 times, fought two guys 3 times apiece and one guy 4 times apiece, Eric Morales, Timothy Bradley, and Marquez. That's 10 other opponents he could have fought. He could have fought each one of them, well, 7, because those are 3 opponents. If he fought either one of them one time, I understand he lost his belt against Bradley or whatever, but that could have been 7 other different challenges. but he fought the same guy. Okay, 10 times, man, 10 times, and you guys don't factor that in. But anyway, that's all I'm going to say on this video. I will catch y'all on the next one.